Aloha and shalom. We are gathered here today for the full moon activation. Whew, and the build up to this moment has been intense. I've been waiting for this moment. I know a lot of you guys have been too. I've been getting a lot of requests for readings. A lot of you have been reaching out for help on your personal journeys. And I've gotten to as many of you as I possibly could. Put you on top of my books over here. There we go. Gotten to as many of you as I possibly could, but these collective activations are always the best because we're always going through it together. So when you can get your advice and your guidance from these collective activations, it makes it so much better because you can depersonalize your situation and really receive the guidance and actually take it in and put it into use because you're not drowning in your own personal story or victimization. So I'm just going to begin to shuffle now that we're finally stable here on the books. And let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. So the full moon activation is all about the fully illuminated picture of what we've been going through this month. We still have another week till the end of the cycle, right? So, well, we have this week of the full moon, and then we have another week, which is closing the cycle, okay? We have the final quarter moon after the full moon, which is when we integrate this information. So right now, the full moon is not about integration. It's about simply being fully present to receive the fullness of the picture. Being fully present to take in all that's being illuminated, because you actually need to be fully present to do that. You can't be integrating while you're trying to take it in. Doing both at the same time, then you take one away from the other. So next week we'll be integrating all this. Right now we're just doing our best to open up to receive the picture. So that's what this activation is about. We have North Carolina in the house. We have Australia in the house. So again, full moon, full illumination. Let's be fully present. Let's ask the archetypes who are one with us. So we're not asking anything outside of us. Let's ask the archetypes for some guidance. How can we best open up to receive the full illumination of what's being shown to us right now? How can we make sure that we see and receive as many details as possible so that we can move forward with the most proficiency as a collective consciousness, not only as individuals, but as a collective consciousness. Oregon in the house, Croatia in the house, Connecticut in the house. So we're giving thanks in advance for this message that's about to come through, this message which is going to help us open up to receive as much as we possibly can right now, all of what's being illuminated for us right now, so that we can move forward, not only as individuals, but as a collective with the most proficiency and grace to bring the most blessings for all of us as one. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the Hebrew cards as well. So thank you in advance for this message that's about to come through. Beginning with the tarot deck. The current challenge and gift in this time of full illumination. What we're stepping away from right now, which is sort of our launching pad. And why we're going through this. Okay, and then with our Hebrew cards, we will pull the main ally of the week. Let's go. Challenge and gift. King of Cups. Kings are the masters of the suit. It's the master of the element pulled. So the King of Cups is going to be the master of the suit of water, emotions, feelings. So this means that we're talking to the part of ourselves that is on the pursuit of self-mastery in regard to our emotions and feelings. This is the part of us that knows what to do with what we're feeling, knows how to take action upon what we're feeling in a way that serves the whole for the highest good. So if we're being challenged in this way right now, what does that look like? It looks like right now, I'll hold this up while I say it so that you can connect to this archetype, because it's not only within you, but it's within everyone and within all things. So right now, what this might look like for you is feeling unsure of what to do with what you're feeling. If you're on the more challenging side of this archetype, and as opposed to the gift, you might be feeling, I really don't know what to do with what I'm feeling right now. How can I do what's right for everyone with what I'm feeling? How can I make sure I don't hurt this person or ruin this situation because of what I'm feeling? And on the more positive end of the spectrum, you might be feeling like, wow, I'm feeling really empowered. I know what to do with all of these big feelings that I'm feeling. I feel really confident that I know how to act on what I'm feeling in a way that's going to serve the highest good of all as one. Because I know that if I do what's right with this feeling, then everything that follows my thoughts, words, and actions around this matter will be for the highest good, period. I trust that if what I'm feeling, I use that for the goodness of the one, then I don't have to focus on what I can't control. I don't have to worry about this person being hurt or that person being hurt, because I know in my heart that what I'm doing is right. I know in my heart that what I'm feeling is true, and what I'm doing with that feeling is going to serve all of us. Okay, so wherever you are on the spectrum, whether you're feeling more of a challenge with this archetype, or you're feeling, let me turn on this light so you guys have more light, or you're feeling more on the gift side of the spectrum, regardless, we're all experiencing this archetype right now. And so what we can all focus on as a collective to really unify, no matter where you're at on this spectrum, to unify, we can all think of it like this. How can I look all around me each moment for opportunities to take what I'm feeling in my heart and act on it in a way that's going to serve the whole? First of all, it's about considering what we're feeling, acknowledging what we're feeling. If you don't first acknowledge what you're feeling, you're going to go nowhere, right? So first acknowledge what you're feeling. That's sort of the queen who comes before the king. The king can't be without the queen, right? They're one. So the queen is the heart of the matter. We have to first acknowledge what's going on there. We all have to acknowledge what we're feeling. And then we have to ask, how can I take this feeling and do something with it in a way that's going to serve not only myself, but everyone around me and the whole in a positive way? So we're being challenged right now, whether this is very difficult for you, very easy for you, it doesn't matter. We're all experiencing the same archetypal theme. Take as many opportunities as you can to act on what you're feeling inside in a way that's going to serve the whole. Meaning, acknowledge it, speak on it, communicate your feelings is a big one. Communicating our feelings right now is a key around this particular archetype. And again, for some of us, that may be really difficult. And for some of us, that may be easier. Allow yourself, if it's difficult for you, to be inspired by those whom it's not. To be inspired by those who have an ease about their way of expressing themselves and their feeling. So start there. If you feel, gosh, it's really hard for me to speak to this person or speak about what I'm feeling, to say what needs to be said, I'm going to start with looking at someone else who really is only me, and I'm going to be inspired by their grace and ease in expressing what they feel, because they're another me. I am them. We are one. And remember the commandment, right? I shall not covet. You cannot covet because there's nothing that isn't yours, because it's all one. We are all one. So allow yourself, if you're feeling stuck, to be inspired by someone who's not, because that is you and it's your reflection. And then make it more personal and think about the person that you need to speak to, whether that's a colleague or a lover or family member, friend, whomever. Think about that person envision yourself saying this to them, and remember, it's going to benefit them as well. If it's based in truth and if it's serving the highest good, you have nothing to fear. So stop hesitating, stop doubting. And again, to make it more personal, that person that you need to speak to is another you as well. There is only one. So practice by envisioning saying what you know you need to say for the one, to this one who is also you. So it's really important. The first action that the King of Cups needs to take is communication, speaking what we're feeling. And it's cups, right? So think the highest emotion is compassion, love. So how can you envision yourself communicating what you're feeling inside with love, with compassion, which means, because compassion is the all virtuous light, which means saying it with all of those virtues, with patience, with kindness, with honesty. And tell yourself, whether this is hard for you or it's easier for you, we all need to tell ourselves the same thing. When I say what I need to say, with compassion, which includes all of the other virtues, which means I'm saying whatever I'm saying in truth, with honesty, with kindness, with patience, with respect, with temperance, then I have nothing to fear, because the light of God is here within me, expressing itself through me. It is me. I'm one with that light. And if you remember that and you hold to that, then those thoughts of fear and doubt cannot live there simultaneously. It's one or the other. You're either in fear or you're not. You're in fear or you're in faith. So be in faith and remind yourself, when I communicate what I must with compassion, then I have nothing to fear. Do you understand? When you communicate from that place, that heart within you, that space of truth, and that's where the communication, the expression is coming from, then there are no negative karmic effects. What you're speaking is light, love, compassion. So then you have nothing to fear, because when you're not doing that, right, and you're speaking with dishonesty or impatience or any of those things that aren't light, that aren't truth, when you're speaking from a place of vice and not virtue, then deep inside, we're off, or we're in an imbalance. And deep inside, our gut is telling us, we're going to have some karma here. We're going to have to reap what we sow, right? We're going to have consequences to our actions. And so we can't fool ourselves, because deep inside of us, each one of us, the truth lives there. And it is disturbed when we're not in alignment with it. So if we're not speaking in compassion, that's when it's justified that we have anxiety and fear and doubts. And it's nothing to really be worried about. It's actually amazing. It's our inner system, our inner guidance system telling us, ooh, something's off. So if you feel right now challenged, you feel I can't communicate or I can't act on this feeling in the right way, ask yourself, where am I out of alignment with truth and who I really am? And in a more simple way, where am I out of alignment with compassion? Because if I feel what I feel and put that into a compassionate expression, I should have nothing to fear. So up and out, but do it with compassion. Okay, whoa, we're moving away from the Nine of Cups, and this was in a recent activation. So if you've been following along, you recognize the Nine of Cups. Nines are endings. Okay, so right now, this is the message. This is the message that's coming in really clear. End whatever has been a thought program, a habit of speech, or a habit of behavior that is not bringing more love, that is not compassionate. If you've been feeling just used to being dishonest, if you've been feeling comfortable in your vice, it's time to break that cycle now. It's time to break it. And the easiest way to do it is to embody compassion. Look to every opportunity to be virtuous, to embody any of the virtues, and they will cancel out any and all of the vices. Okay, so we're coming to a point right now where we need to end all of those vices, all of our expressions of those vices. We need to, there's a funny light coming in right now. We need to end what has not been an expression of love and really look closely. Don't fool yourself. It's easy to deceive ourselves, but the archetypes are there to help you. They are you. They remind you of who you really are. Okay, so end whatever is not truly bringing fulfillment. Not just your fulfillment, but fulfillment of the one heart. Okay, meaning if you have been comfortable in your vices, it's not bringing you fulfillment. If you've been wondering why you haven't been feeling fulfilled, why am I not happy? Why can't I reach this deeper level of fulfillment? Why can't I reach higher levels of joy, deeper levels of bliss in my life and in my relations? It's because of this. It's because it's time to end the shortcomings. It's time to go fully in. It's time to dive deep and really be compassionate. Understand that the only reason you aren't fulfilled in any relationship or job or project or pursuit is because you're not going all the way with your compassion. You're not being that King of Cups. You're not activating fully to the degree that you have the potential to activate it right now. You're not activating that King of Cups within you. So it's time to mature in the realm of emotion, in the realm of compassion. It's time to really allow that love to pour forth from your heart and let go of whatever deep programming you might have had that has been keeping you comfortable in just giving a little bit. Whatever deep programming has been keeping you from going to the next level of giving and receiving that love, being a conduit for that love. Okay, you may have been feeling like, well, it's corny to love like that, or it's corny to say that thing, or it's too much if I tell this person I love them, or too much if I do this act of kindness. Not enough. Not enough. Our world needs more. We all need more. So whatever has been keeping you from opening those floodgates, it's time to put an end to that. And if you can't identify it, simply think of the vices. Where have I been dishonest? Where have I been impatient? Where have I not been kind enough? Where have I not been practicing moderation and temperance? Where have I been experiencing an imbalance, indulging too much, gluttony? Think of those things. Go to the vices and they will tell you where you need to neutralize their effects by embodying and actualizing the light of its opposite, the virtue that is its opposite. So for example, if you've not been fully honest, it's time to be really honest. It's time to really make up for that. If you've been impatient, it's time to look closely, get your magnifying glass and look really closely for where in my life, where in my relationships, in my job, in my home, with my family, can I be more patient? And let me really focus on that one to neutralize the effect of all of my impatience that I've been exhibiting for who knows how long. Right? I've been really eating a lot of sugar. Take a break then. You don't have to give it up forever, but it's time to neutralize the effect. How many times did I just say temperance? And who shows up? Because they're all within each other. We're all within one another. Temperance, aka the alchemist. There it is. The third tarot card of the spread. 3 of 3. And this was the card at the bottom, the foundation. Why are we going through this? It's so that we can come back into balance. Temperance. See the 2 cups? It's like balancing the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine. So if we really want to be the master of our emotions to the degree that we can, right? Because we're always taking a new turn on the wheel, always going deeper. But right now we have a certain frequency of potential that we're rising to meet, that we're rising to embody and activate. So if we want to do this, then we need to let go of our limitations. We need to first identify them, and that can be difficult. So the easiest way to do it is see where we're not practicing temperance. Where are we embodying more of the vices, where we need to be embodying more of the virtues? Okay, so temperance is why we're experiencing this, and going deeper, ever deeper. 14 is right before the devil, 15, and 14 is where we write our story. We take the pen in our hands. We remember that we are co-creators of this reality. We take accountability. We assume responsibility. And we're grateful for that gift of being co-creator of this reality. So we cannot assume that position and responsibility until we recognize what our limitations are and how we are responsible for those limitations. Okay. The Hebrew letter associated with this card is the letter Nun, and the hieroglyphic symbol for that letter is a seed. We are planting seeds. We are the gardeners of our lives. We plant the seeds that become the fruits later. We reap what we sow. So if we want to be as responsible as we possibly can be, awake and cooperative as possible in this game of life, in this show, then we need to identify what our limitations are so that we can go beyond them. And the ally of the week is the Hebrew letter Mem, M-E-M. And it's the letter that is connected to the element of water. So there's a letter that represents each of the elements. Mem represents water. Think Mem, mother, great mother, the womb, the cosmic womb, the waters that we all come from. This is the essence of Mem. Mem is also connected to the 13th tarot card, which is death, which comes right before 14. 13, 14, 13, 14. Right? And why is water connected to death? Because death is really life. Death is only transformation, rebirth. So Mem is the waters of rebirth. And it comes right before this, right? So why is this the ally? It's like death. Then we have a 9, which is an ending, but water. Water. Cups, cups, water. 2 cups, water. Water, 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 water. This is all, every single card here is the theme of water. The one letter in the entire alphabet that represents water. Boom. Water, water, water. And a major arcanum water nonetheless, right? So you can kind of see the themes going on here. Right? I mean, everything. I just want to point out like a deeper esoteric connection to make here. If you take 13 and 9, right? 22. So 22 is a new form. Okay, 22 reduces to a 4, which is a form, but 22 is the continuous form. This is why it's a master number in numerology, right? 22. So you can play with all these different numbers and get more and more messages. It goes deeper and deeper. So for all my tarot lovers and tarot students, you can go deeper by looking at the numbers and the connections there. Okay, so going back and tying it in together, what's going on here? Mem reminds us that we're constantly rebirthing. We're constantly being renewed. So take advantage of this opportunity to purify, cleanse every moment. You don't need to be who you thought you were becoming. You can transform that idea and become the next best new version of you, who you know you need to be. Let go of what was so you can become who you need to become. Okay, there is an ending right now. We need to go beyond those limitations. And in order to identify where we've been limiting ourselves, we need to look beyond the veil, because it's confusing in this world of material and multiplicity. We need to go beyond the veil, lift the veil, and see the archetypes there. What are they showing us? And the archetypes always come down to the vices and virtues. So we look, where have I been experiencing or embodying vice? as opposed to virtue. That's where my limitations are. That's where my limitations are, because when we are in those vices, we limit ourselves. And it's okay, it's all a part of the plan. But we need to identify where so that we can switch to the antidote, so that we can begin to embody the opposite, the virtue that is opposite each of those vices. Okay, so it's time to really do what we came here to do, which is connect to and move from the heart. And if we're going to do that fully, we need to break through those barriers. And what is keeping those barriers in place are the vices. So we need to raise our frequency by embodying the virtues opposite those vices. And all that's going to do is basically open our hearts. It's going to clear the darkness, clear the limitations, open the floodgates, right? It's like the vices are like the low, dense frequencies that are connected ultimately to those higher lights. It's okay. It's all one, right? They're like the black magician or the devil that leads us back to the light. This is why like Lucifer is an angel, right? It's all the same archetypal concept. So for example, if you're experiencing being dishonest, know that that's okay. Dishonesty is just on the opposite end of the spectrum of honesty. It's one. So use that dishonesty as a landmark, right? You say, oh, this is where I'm being dishonest. Okay, that's okay. I'm not going to have shame or guilt. I'm going to take accountability and I'm going to say, perfect. This is where I need to now insert honesty. This is where I need to make amends, repair, and begin to do what's right, correct my wrongdoing. There's a concept for this. In Hebrew, it's called tikkun olam, repair the world, to make it right. And we can do that on a larger scale when we each focus on doing that individually in our own lives. And then when we all do that together, it affects the whole, right? So look right now at where you can die to the old ways. Where can you wash yourself clean, repair the situation, bring new life into the situation? Find where you've been exhibiting vice. What is its opposite? What is the virtue that pairs with that vice? Take it there. It's almost like you take a dense frequency and you go, and you raise it up. Okay, and we're doing this so that we can come back into balance. And why do we want to come back into balance? So that we can take on that responsibility of being cooperative co-creators of this divine reality, so that we can feel fulfilled in the purpose we came here to fulfill as individuals and as a collective, which is to bring heaven to earth. If we want to be those co-creators of that reality of bringing heaven to earth, we need to take responsibility. We need to bring ourselves back into balance, and no one can do that for us but the self. So let's look at where we have not been fulfilled. Admit that it's because I haven't been in my compassionate embodiment in this area or that. And now I'm going to be that. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to step into my King of Cups, which means I'm going to act on compassion and truth. Those feelings that are within me, I'm going to make something of them. I'm going to express them in a way that it's going to serve this whole, meaning I'm going to express the love and truth in my heart in a way that's going to bring more light into this world, in a way that's going to bring more compassion into this world, which means in a way that's going to bring heaven to earth. Wow, you guys. Beautiful activation. Seriously, water, water, water all around. I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. It's really amazing. Water, 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 water. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to remember that if we want to reach that next level of mastery of our emotions, if we want to reach that next level of being able to express what is within us in a way that serves the one heart, in a way that brings heaven to earth, then we need to admit where we have been in more of the vices than the virtues. Come back into balance, take accountability, be responsible for our role as co-creators of heaven on earth. We're doing this together. We got this. Full moon, time to receive that light. Bring it in, bring it out, multiply. If you know someone who's struggling right now and could use this positive message, please send it to them. If you have someone in your circle who is such a powerful light and they could help us to multiply this light that is already present, please send this to them. If you have a favorite group on Facebook, send it. If you'd like, this recording will go to YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic, when we're done here. And you can send it to anyone who's not on Facebook. Anybody can watch a YouTube video. So many people, especially Gen Z, are on Instagram these days, so it'll be there as well. Please follow me on there and share with your friends. And if you would like to let me know how this activation touched you, please leave a review, facebook.com/royalpathtarot, or email me, info@royalpathtarot.com. You can also just go to royalpathtarot.com and there's a link there. And leave me a review or message me, let me know how it touched you. If you want to give back, I'm sure I've got links somewhere down my wall, but I have Venmo, Rebecca-Magic. I've got other ways too, so if you want to reach out and give back in exchange for what you've received from these activations, I am so grateful. And for everybody who has, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And my books make great gifts for the holidays. So if you want to do your own reading in a way that's really easy and simple, even if you're just starting out, or if you're advanced, it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of tarot mastery, my books are for all. My books are for anyone. So they make great gifts. There's the Royal Path 1 and 2. The first one is on the major archetypes. The second is on the minor. I also have video courses if you want to go deeper into the occult symbolism, the imagery in tarot and occult art. So reach out. The best gift that I can offer for the holidays and for any time of the year, any occasion, even if it's not an occasion, it's just a regular old day, is a tarot reading. One-on-one readings are an amazing gift because they really are the gift that keeps on giving. It's such an amazing gift when you give somebody a tarot reading in this style, because this is about the archetypes. It helps to awaken that light in anyone, any age, no matter what you're going through, whether you're having a hard time or you're having a great time in life. The archetypes are always going to enhance the experience. And my readings are mini awakenings. They're activations. It's not just a reading where you're getting some mundane advice. You're getting a mirror held up to you. You're getting all of your archetypes activated so that you can rise up to be the next level of who you are. So I don't really know a better gift than that. And if you want to read some reviews, feel free to go to my page, facebook.com/royalpathtarot, and there are so many reviews on there. And you can see that it really is an amazing gift. All right, y'all. Any questions, please email me. I love you, and I'll see you next week for the final quarter activation so that we can see how far we came with this and give each other a little boost and refine the path as always. Thank you, archetypes. Faces of the One. Peace. Shalom.